Now, as the worst of the pandemic's first wave seems to have passed, the Ministry of Education is working out plans to reopen schools safely. But the biggest piece of this puzzle is how learners can best practice hygiene and social distancing. Well, ahead of the ministry's meeting with stakeholders next week, NTV's Leila Mohammed spoke with some players in the industry on what has to happen.
As the country records a declining number of new COVID-19 infections, the Ministry of Education is also working out plans to return children back to school safely. Face masks, smaller classes and distanced desks are part of the back-to-school preparations. The ministry is planning to buy some 622,000 desks, but teachers say the ministry needs to research more on what works best.
Most secondary schools at the moment have enough desks and chairs. There are a few that may be having a challenge, and this one is a very small percentage that could easily be mapped out. What the schools would have wished to have is a space in which they can separate these students that are congested in class.
We have to move this discussion around reopening from measuring the distance between one desk to the other desk and begin to see classrooms as open spaces. I mean, there's a lot of learning that can take place on the school field. Honestly, you could take diameter on the football pitch.
For teachers, communication will be key, but they believe that some of the proposals to change dining spaces into sleeping areas may not solve the social distancing headache.
Basically, the facilities that are in our schools at the moment are the same as the ones that we had on 15th of March when the schools closed.
So we have to confront this necessary evil called boarding, because part of the reason why we have delayed reopening schools is because a lot of our secondary education is taking place in boarding schools.
We must build confidence and trust in parents that we will reopen and the parents will bring the children back to school. Because the schools can be said to open on a certain date, but the children may not come.
The teachers are also calling on the government to distribute funds to enable them pay non-teaching staff and teachers hired by the boards of management and who have gone for months without pay. Leila Mohammed, NTV.